Hello beta lovers and what's up everybody and welcome to my another video. And today I'm going to talking about the interesting topic, namely about the color layer of betta fish. This knowledge I collect from some literature that specifically discuss about the color layer of betta fish. Some of literature are from bettaterritory and ingloriousbettas, bettasource and deepbluebettas. But on this occasion, I also combine this topic with my personal experience and my knowledge about the color layer of betta fish. And why I want to discuss this, because if we understand about it, at least we will know why betta fish have a variety of color. Maybe every person has a different experience about betta, especially about the color of betta. And you need to know that betta color are difficult to understand and predict as ingloriousbettas said. But this is what make it fun and keep us learning to find out, because something that mystery always interesting. Okay, let's get started. The basic knowledge that we need to know is betta fish have a several color layer. Betta source and some literature explain that there are essentially four layers of color cell in betta skin, namely iridescent layer as top layer, black layer, red layer, and yellow layer as bottom layer. And slightly different with the color pigmentation of wild bettas. The difference is in the red layer and black layer. In wild betta, iridescent layer as top layer, and then red layer, black layer, and yellow layer as bottom layer. Okay betta lovers, now before I continue, I would like to show you one more literature. And slightly different, betta fish layer according to ingloriousbettas is divided into 5 layers, namely dragon metallic opaque as first layer, and then iridescent layer, black layer, red layer, and yellow layer as bottom layer. If we see, there are several layers, and this is the reason why bettas have different colors like super red, royal blue, copper, dark color, light color, and etc. The color that's seen on the skin of betta is an expression of the genetic of betta fish. I personally have detailed opinion about the color layer of betta fish. In my opinion, there are 9 color layers of betta fish, namely dragon metallic opaque, then second layer iridescent layer, and then black layer, purple layer, brown layer, red layer, orange layer, yellow layer, and cellophane layer as bottom layer. And in this time, I'm going to explain based on case study on single color betta fish, light color, dark colors, and betta fish in general colors. And it should be underlined that in this time, I will then discuss the topic about the color of marble, koi, fancy, and dragon. Because if I combine it in this discussion, it will be long and enough to make headache. Okay, now let's look one by one the layer of betta, and we start from cellophane layer. Cellophane layer is the lowest layer in the skin of betta. This layer has no color or transparent. Cellophane layer often found in koi offspring. And why this betta color cellophane? The answer is because genetic on skin only express the lower color layers. So the color is cellophane. This fish is really beautiful. We can see the inside of the organs. Generally, koi offspring that fail mutation color become cellophane. Cellophane color are also divided into 2. Some are clean, some are not. Usually, the collector like clean cellophane betta without any other colors. The next layer is yellow layer. Yellow is the second layer from the bottom after cellophane layer. Yellow is a thin color for betta fish. Yellow betta fish will be very beautiful if it has a solid color without irid. And by the way, organs in the betta are usually still visible if the betta is yellow. There are betta fish with a clean solid yellow color, but usually very rare yellow solid betta without irid. Usually, yellow betta will still express a little black or irid color. The strange thing about the solid yellow color is, if there is a stain on yellow color, it never expresses a red stain, even though the yellow layer is very close to the orange and red layer. And this applies for pure yellow without marble blood or marble cross. Okay, the next layer is orange layer. Orange layer is the third layer from the bottom. similar like solid yellow betta. Usually very rare betta that have solid orange color without black or irid stain. Generally, orange betta have a little black, blue or even purple stain, especially for plakat. So, if you have a clean solid orange plakat betta, you are very lucky. And a little information, I see that in 2020, it is very rare for betta seller who sell solid orange plakat. But it's different for solid orange half moon. There are still many sellers who sell this betta. Okay, the next layer is red layer. If you want to see the red layer on betta fish, you can see it in super red betta. Red betta is the favorite for many people. Red betta usually have a little irid stain and purple color on the body, but also there are betta fish with a red solid color without irid. This is a perfect fish when it's clean from irid or stains, and many people certainly want to collect it. Red-based betta are very often contest in the IBC Championship, and by the way, when he was very young, this fish had the color of Cambodia, but over time, this fish changed color to the full red. Next layer is brown layer. Fish with a single brown color is very rare. Even I personally have never seen it. If you often breed red copper betta, then you will often find a generation of reddish brown on their head. Usually, the brown color will be combined with other colors. For example, purple color and brown, red copper and brown. Brown is a color that is not dominant in betta fish. Usually, this color is on the head of the betta fish. If you see red copper betta, then you will see a brown color on betta head, as well as in salamander betta. Okay, the next layer is purple layer. If you want to see the purple layer on betta fish, you can see it in lavender and salamander betta. Lavender and salamander are dominant fish with a purple layer. And so far, there has never been a solid purple color that I have seen. Usually, the color purple will be combined with other colors such as red, pink, brown, or even white. The next layer is the black layer. This layer is quite unique, usually has a purple bias, blue bias, even the word sometimes also has a red bias. Black betta fish usually have a color pattern like black orchid, and very rare black betta without any other color stains. Solid black betta without irid or other color stains will be very expensive. Super black is a betta with a dominant black layer. Not all super black is clean from irid or other color stain. Theoretically, the black layer in the betta is between the purple layer and the iridescent layer. So it's not surprising if some super black betta have little irid or purple stain. But the surprising is some of super black betta also express the red color even only on the fin. Okay, the next layer is iridescent layer. Iridescent layer has several types of color, namely blue, blue steel, green, and turquoise. The iridescent layer is the second layer from the top layer. And iridescent layer in betta fish has the unique characteristic that is emitting or reflecting light like a rainbow tinge. If we highlight it with light, will reflect luster. In general, betta fish with an iridescent layer that dominant will look thick scales. Usually, iridescent color are combined with black or dark colors, but there are also betta fish with a solid iridescent color. You can see the iridescent layer clearly on the wild betta, as on Smaragdina, Imbelis, Machai, and others. If you see the glint on wild betta, then it's the iridescent layer. Besides that, you can also see the iridescent layer clearly on solid colors, namely blue, blue steel, green, and turquoise. And the top layer is dragon, metallic, and opaque. Visually, you will see the betta fish skin will look thick if dominated by the dragon layer. This layer is very unique because in one layer there are several types of color. The first is white dragon scale, usually characterized by wild chalk or white opaque. Then is a metallic dragon characterized by sparkling copper scales. Black dragon, red dragon, white opal betta are some examples of the thick scales betta. Actually, there are still several types of thick scales betta that I haven't mentioned, such as red copper, black copper, and etc. By the way, one of my favorite color betta is metallic color. You can see that my betta collection is mostly metallic color, such as red copper, black copper, and marble, and copper marble. And back to the topic, what we see in betta fish scales is the most dominant layer color. The combination of color pigments in betta fish scales or skin is determined by genetic expression. So the color in betta fish is an expression of the betta genetic. Therefore, the genetic role is very large in determining the color of betta fish. And that is the reason why we have to carry out genetic enhancement or purification by building F2, F3, and F4 generation. Strong genetic will produce betta fish with relatively more stable in color and form. Deeper topics about line breeding maybe I will discuss in the next video. I want to give an example. For example, if we breed male blue crown-tail with female blue crown-tail, will potentially produce blue, black, black orchid, blue steel, even the mascot generation. Another example, if you breed black copper and black copper, that will potentially produce yellow copper, black copper, and red copper. Why is that? Because the layer on the black copper is very close to the red and yellow layer. Even the extreme can be cellophane. How about koi, marble, and fancy?